And also let me know if you can hear me and see me because sometimes like the streams when I do them on the phone, sometimes there's like audio issues. So just let me know. Give me a heads up and let me know. In the meantime, um, so just real quick, the reason I'm even doing a stream off of the phone is because I was about to go live on StreamYard for the YouTube channel, and I guess they're not giving. At least I'll try to show you guys what it looks like. As far as like me, they're not offering like a version of StreamYard at the moment. And so it's like I have the plan on pause because I'm not able to pay for it or afford it at the moment. So I have it on pause. And then I'll just show you guys what it looks like. Basically, so like it'll say resume plan, right? And then if I hit that, it'll be like resume plan, but that'll be like going back to like charging me what I can't pay right now. So if I try to go to like change the plan to a free plan, there is no option for the free plan at the moment. Um, so because of that, I'm not gonna be able to stream on through StreamYard tonight on the desktop. And I had a few stories, but anyways, eventually I'll post some videos through here or through directly through YouTube, just depending on what's best or easiest at the moment. And there was like a total of three, four, five, six, seven, like seven articles I was going to talk about, including like an additional video. That well, it's the video I'm going to talk about right now on this stream, off the phone. But yeah, it's extremely important that you guys don't miss this stream because pretty much I saw a video earlier that pretty much encapsulates what I've been talking about for the last few months, and what other truthers have been talking about in the last few months and even the last few years, really. And I don't think anyone should like ignore this video because it's extremely important, especially for those of you who sadly, have little to no knowledge of basic fundamental survival skills. And I'm not saying I'm an expert or nothing like that because I'm not saying that. But if you're someone who doesn't know how to use a compass, doesn't know how to use a map, hasn't been stocking up on food, gas, water, that kind of thing, because either your daily life is too busy and you're getting distracted left and right from like by work or family or just like politics or whatever the case may be. You're not going to want to miss this. So I came across this video and I'll just show you what it looks like so y'all can search it on your own if you want to. But so it's this one right here. It says our government is preparing for civil unrest elections, right? And it's by Sandy Steinberg. Right? I just literally I came across it um earlier today, and as I was watching it, I was like, this is pretty much what like people like a call for an uprising have been talking about for like some time now. This is what a lot of people like the truth is has pretty much tried to talk about and some of the past few months in their videos. And again, a lot of other truther channels or accounts have been trying really hard to get people to like start preparing if they haven't started already. And I would like to include myself in that because y'all know if y'all go through some of the last streams or videos that I did, I have been saying time and time again, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Why? There's a good chance that what's going on, William? Blessings and love to you. And blessings and love to everybody who has the chance to stop by tonight's stream. I appreciate it in advance, and it really does mean a lot to me. Um, and yeah, so things are going to get really bad again. It could be a repeat of 2020 or worse. And I'm starting to see a lot of things are coming together for me. And I'm starting to put like the pieces together to some of the stuff that might happen or could happen. Privilege Chicks, God bless you too, and Amen. I received that. Amen. I received that, and good to see you here. I think this is the first time I see you like in the actual like live chat, or maybe the second time. But I appreciate your support and company, so thanks. But yeah, like I'm starting to see a lot of things and that are making sense to me right now, and yeah. So I haven't heard anybody else say what I'm about to say. Maybe there is. Maybe someone else out there has talked about this in maybe even much greater detail. But at least to this point, to this moment, I have not heard anyone say what I'm about to say right now. Okay. And the reason why I'm saying, oh, I'm starting to put pieces together and starting to get a better understanding of what's maybe potentially about to happen. Right. So there's been talks for like the longest time about the Internet of Money, the Internet of Bodies, et cetera, right? And everything. World Economic Forum has been talking about it. Um, People who talk about like digital assets and cryptocurrency have been talking about it. Carl Schwab has been talking about it, right? And what I've been noticing is that they have been giving heads up and warning signs about all those topics. How it's going to be like a paperless or cashless society. It's going to be running on digital currency, et cetera, et cetera, right? But also on top of that, they've been talking about like merging humans or the human body with like machines or computers, right? um, I forget the specific word, but it's like when you combine computer and man or something like that. So this is what the pieces, quote unquote, that I'm putting together. So, for example, um, they have been trying really hard to scare everybody into a potential cyber attack, and um, and I really do think it is going to happen. I don't know if right before the elections, during the elections, or after the elections. Doesn't matter when, really. What matters is how to prepare ourselves for it, right? Um, but at the same time, know what to expect in the aftermath, right? So, for example, if 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 and when they do cause an EMP attack, right? Here in the your device, I don't know why it's having issues now with the connection, but so yeah, so all that shuts down, right? Sometimes things like that are what needs to happen, right? In order for them to, like when I say them, I mean the government, for them to implement certain things, right? Both government and companies to implement certain things or certain measures, right? The same way that precedents um, on the day 11th of September, a few years ago, where because of that, they implemented the TSA and they implemented stronger and more stricter security measures and all this other stuff, right? Is the same way that if and when an EMP attack does occur in the States, it's gonna mean like it's gonna be one of those reasons why we're gonna be forced into transitioning from like having physical like devices like the phone um, into pretty much like going from that to putting devices in our own body, right? So I don't know if I can put this somewhere where so I don't have to hold it. Uh, hold on, don't go anywhere, guys. Just gotta find a small stand. Um, one minute. I don't know where I put that stand at. You know, I guess I just have to hold the phone. Anyways, anyways, that's what I was saying. All right. So if y'all remember, some of the streams or videos where I talked about this stuff on, I kept saying like how important it is to have the Faraday bags, right? Or anything that could block or potentially block an EMP attack on any of your devices, right? Why is this important? Well, a lot of people, right, including myself, we're into like investing in certain things, such as cryptocurrency, right? Because we do see it as a way to, prosper ourselves or our families or our communities, etc. However you want to look at it, it's it's uh it's a good investment in that sense, where yes, you can make some actual legitimate money off of it. The problem is that if and when a an EMP attack does occur, guess what happens? Everything basically gets wiped out, right? That's if, and I repeat, that's if, capital IF, you don't prepare yourself for that type of event. If you're prepared and you have one of those Faraday bags and you're able to put your devices in those bags routinely, uh, and hopefully during the moment of one of those attacks, because that could happen whenever. It could happen while you're sleeping, it could happen while you're taking a shower, it could happen while you're eating, whatever. It doesn't forgive anybody, right? It's not going to forgive anybody. And it's going to catch everybody by surprise and off guard, which is why having something like that is extremely useful. And EMP blockers, like for your cars or whatever vehicle you drive, they're out there on Amazon. You can buy them, just directly from companies who make them. So there's ways around it, and there's ways to prepare yourselves for stuff like that, right? But um, what I'm trying to get at is afterwards, after the fact, after the attack has happened, right? If you just happen to be one of those people who was prepared enough to have a Faraday bag or a Faraday cage, however you want to call it, and you were lucky enough or blessed enough to hold on to your assets and your investments and show proof that you have like whatever you do have, and once like the networks go back up or whatever, then and your investment did well, you could potentially, uh, of course, of course, yeah, I I believe good Wi-Fi signal on my side. I believe you. Like I'm not saying it's not happening. That's usually what happens when I talk about stuff like this, though. So I'm not surprised. But anyways, um, yeah, I really do think that after the EMP attack occurs, whenever it happens again, doesn't matter when. It could be right before elections, during the elections, after elections, at some point between, I want to say, um, this fourth quarter of this year or the beginning months of next year, it there's a good chance of it happening. And after it happens, that's where they're gonna come in and say, like, yeah, like this is terrible, and everybody lost all their information, everybody lost um whatever, their accounts, etc., blah blah blah. And so that's where I think they're gonna step in and they're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna have to like start implementing little by little for people to get stuff inside their bodies so that, well, not only just in their bodies, but also like in their bodies, but also anti-EMP, so that your information is stored inside of you securely, and prone, like to, well, not prone, there, it would be secure enough and just anti-EMP. So if another EMP attack happens, supposedly it nothing will happen to your information because it has some type of like device that protects it while it's inside your body, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, I'll keep saying it. Um, Learn how to use the map. Don't have to depend on anybody. Don't have to like count on anybody. Learn to be self-sufficient. Learn to use a compass. Learn to use know your area, know your town, your city, your state, know your surroundings. Um, just be self-sufficient because if and when that whole EMP thing does happen and everybody is pretty much like blind in the sense of like not knowing where to go, not knowing what to do, um, it's not going to be a pretty sight. And the thing is that in those moments, unless you have made a good friendship or relationship with people in your town and stuff like in your neighborhood and stuff like that, you don't really know who to trust and who to go to and who has good intentions, who has bad intentions, etc. And yeah, that's why absolutely everybody should take in time out of the day to learn how to read a compass, learn how to read a map, learn how to read coordinates, learn how to, like do simple stuff like making a basic fire with like minerals or like wood or whatever. Um, just simple survival stuff, nothing crazy. I'm not telling you that you should learn how to build a house, you know what I'm saying, like on your own, nothing like that. Like if you do, great, even better. But just know the basics. Know how to purify your own water, know how to um, you know, hunt, you know, uh, everything that you might think or feel you might need to know, um, regarding like maybe like the area that you live in, right? Stock up on non-perishable foods as best as you can. Learn how to filter out like water and routinely like move them and turn them so that it doesn't go bad after a certain amount of time. There's ways to do things that is easy and simple and straightforward. But if you don't know it, you don't know it. You know. But yeah, I'd like to again for like I don't know like the umpteenth time try to tell you guys in advance to prepare yourself. I'm not trying to scare nobody. I'm not trying to like sound like oh like the world's gonna end. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm getting at. But if a 2020 type of event happens again or worse, um, then you need to know like I want everybody to be at peace. I don't want anybody that is part of this community or follows this channel to freak out or to, you know what I'm saying, do something stupid just because they don't know what to do, they don't know where to go. Always have some type of like plan with like your family members, again, your neighborhood, your community, people who you can trust or you feel that you can trust, uh, and practice scenarios. Okay, what if the light goes out? do we have uh, spare flashlights? Do we have batteries to power up those flashlights? Do we have simple stuff like, again, a compass and a map? Do we have backup fuel and gas for the vehicles, in case they still work? Then, we can at least go somewhere safe if something gets out of hand, right? And yeah, man. Like at the same time, always prepare yourself to like take care of yourself. I got plenty of blades like in my car that I put in specific areas. Not gonna say where, but I put them in certain areas inside the car where only I know that, so that if God forbid an emergency does happen and I have to defend myself or people in my car, I have that to work with. Also, I do own a pew pew, so that's another thing that if God forbid, I hopefully I never have to use it, but if I am put in a position where I do have to use it, then it's at my disposal, right? Um, but yeah, man. Let me see if I can show you guys the video, and hopefully y'all can kind of like at least hopefully hear what she's saying and um give me your thoughts. All right, you don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna show you the video. Um, let's see. It's gonna have to be through the headphones I have over here. So hold on. Let me put the volume up. My bad, guys. Let me know if y'all can hear that, man. Because I don't know if like the audio from the video is picking up on the headphones or my headphone. Yeah, hold on. If y'all can't hear it, just let me know. I don't want to play something if y'all can't hear it. So let me know.
it is going to be mass chaos, mostly in certain places, like the bigger cities. I think that definitely that could be more of an impact, but it is going to be a very volatile time, I believe. What do you need to do? Well, I would get some things in your home. I've said this many times. I kind of feel like I'm just sounding the alarm and saying, listen, are you prepared for whatever? So beyond weather and that kind of thing, I know people that are in hurricane areas, they're always prepared for that kind of stuff. But what about just everybody being prepared, no matter where you live, because so much could happen around our election time. Um, some of the scenarios that I think could happen. Start with one. I we go into voting, Kamala against Trump, everything's fair, and everybody votes fairly, and everything's counted, and one way or another, one of the parties comes out as the winner. Okay, that's the way it was in the past. I doubt that's going to happen. The second scenario could be that somebody, either another nation state or a rogue person within America, could hit or do a cyber attack and knock things out so that we couldn't have an election. Okay, I don't know if that'll happen. Could it happen? Yeah. I don't know. I think we'll have an election. The next thing is have a pandemic. Have any of you heard about monkeypox? Because it seems to be talked about a lot. And also the vaccines are being made for monkeypox. Well, why are we making vaccines for something that really has had zero impact as of yet? Unless there's people that wanted to have a big impact. And then could it? Yeah. Um, I'm going to talk between the lines just a little bit, but we know that there's a lot of people out there that um, would love to see the amount of population.
All right, I'm pause it right there. Um, so she brought up a lot of good points, right? So she's saying that there's different scenarios that could happen, right? Saying the first scenario is, come time November, everybody votes, and the votes cause one or the other side to win, and things, kind of like happen like they have in the past, and that's it. And she's like, she doubts that that's gonna happen. And then she's like, potentially the when voting time comes around, whether it be an internal threat or an external threat, causes a cyber hack to happen to where they shut down to where people can't vote, and then that'll cause like chaos in its own. Um, and then of course another potential possibility is the whole like another pandemic happening again, which I see highly likely because as she was just saying a few seconds ago, the whole like monkeypox situation. I covered it some time ago, like when it was like first brought up and when they were following up on it, I was, kind of like digging in a little bit just to see like what damage it had done thus far. I can't remember the numbers right now, but it was nothing um crazy where it's like, oh man, it's like it's killing everybody, blah blah blah. Nah, like yeah, it killed a certain amount of people. And I forgot specifically where, but it wasn't over here in America. It was outside of America. But what she was saying was is that they're already making the magic potions for that issue in advance. Um, and it kind of sounds very similar to the whole 2020 situation. And so that's a strong possibility right there. Now, one thing I agree with her on a lot of things, and this is the first time I come across her channel and watch any of her videos or content. And so I do agree with her on a lot of stuff. I believe in preparing. I believe in being vigilant. I believe in uh, just doing your best to stay prepared for any likelihood of any of these things happening. What I don't agree with her on, and this is always going to happen, just because there's very few amount of people who are scared to think this way, but it's just the way I've been believing and thinking since like maybe like 2008 or 2012 up until now. If and when something does happen from the inside, it's not going to be a rogue person. It's not going to be a rogue hacker who, lost all faith in America and they're just like, oh, I'm going to cause a cyber attack because I don't believe in America anymore, etc. Right? It's not going to be any of that. It's going to be the government itself. Because, and this is another topic that I've covered in the past, like, y'all need to understand. Y'all need to understand. America was never truly a Christian country. Let me say that again. And I'll explain why I'm saying this afterwards. But you need to understand that America, the United States of America, was never truly a Christian nation or country. Why do I say this? Well, because, sure, although the pilgrims and certain people of the people were Christian and were like, like legit Christians and legit people who were, trying to come over here to be able to like, like openly express their faith. And, we all know the history story on that, right? Um, but there's a huge divide and a huge difference between the people that make up the people, like the regular citizen, who was a Christian or who were Christians, versus the people who run the nation. If y'all go look, okay, if y'all go look and search George Washington, and all these presidents, every single one of them, if not damn near all of them, were Freemasons. When you're a Freemason, you are asked to pledge and swear loyalty to the Brotherhood of Freemasonry above your faith, above your quote unquote religion, above God, above your family, above everything, anything else. And this has been like, I don't know, like if people, it's like people are scared. People are scared to understand that you don't have control of who runs your nation. You don't have a say or control in who puts the laws. You don't have control of any of that. Why? Because those same people who run the nation and run the country, if they were pretty much like forced to pledge and to swear to put the Brotherhood of Freemasonry above all things and above everything else, above their beliefs, their faith, their religion, family, everything. Like, what do you think and who do you think truly like runs the nation and country? You know what I mean? Because if you're pledging and swearing above all those things, that means you're putting this brotherhood and this loyalty to this brotherhood above everything and anything else, including your God, who supposedly you serve and believe in, right? Then that means you're automatically against God. You're automatically against your beliefs, supposed beliefs. You're automatically against your faith, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this is with every president. This has been with every president from start to finish. That's the way it's always been. That's the way it's going to be. Um, did they, uh, put certain things that favored the Christian faith for a long time? Sure. But these are things that you do to appease the people and make them think that everything is like cool and it's safe and it's like great, this is going great, and we're always going to have the trust that this is going to be this way. What has happened from there to now? to where the Bible was taken away from schools, the morning prayers were taken away from schools. Now, like if you give the freedom of Christians of doing all that, you got to give the same freedom for someone from the Satanic Temple to do the same thing. Like this is why. This is why we're never going to have. And I know some people are gonna hate me, like hate hearing me say this, but it's just biblically and prophetically, it's just true. We're never gonna have, all right, we're never gonna have a Christian person running the country. We're never gonna have a person who truly, genuinely loves and follows God to the T and is a real man or woman of God running the country. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. And you know, sure, we can pray for people all we want. We can, we can pray and for people to get saved and people. Uh, but the problem is, and listen to me very closely, the moment, the moment we get lucky or fortunate to where a real, true, genuine man or woman of God takes the lead in presidency or whatever the case, what's going to happen is they either mysteriously, you know, like get killed or shot or, something happens to them where they die and they're not able to like do what they were going to do, or they get sabotaged and pretty much someone else gets placed in power because again, never, not once, never will it happen to where a real person of God is going to be allowed to run the country or nation. Why do I keep saying that? Well, because sadly, the countries and this nation and all that are not for any person of God to run. As much as I would love to see it, as much as I would love to like see that and like witness it and to experience it, this is Satan's world. This is God has the last word, and God has the last laugh at the very end, and God will win at the very end. But sadly, this world, this this country, this nation, and all the other nations belong to Satan. And I know some of you are gonna get like a little like offended by hearing that. Oh no, like the nation belongs to God. No, no, because and I've brought this up in the past before, but there is a reason why when Satan tempted Jesus, he tempted him with the kingdoms of this world. He tempted him with the land. He tempted him with, you know, the governments and kingdoms of the world. If he did not have that authority, he could not even utter those words. He would not be able to say those words. His mouth would not be able to produce those words. He wouldn't be able to do anything. He wouldn't be able to offer it. And on top of that, if it weren't the case that he owns and is the ruler of this world, Jesus would have just like stopped him and like, hold up, bro. Yeah, you're doing too much because I am the ruler of this world and you don't own anything. He could have said that. He didn't say that. All he said was like, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? But he didn't say like, oh, you don't own any of it. You don't. He didn't call him out for any of that because he recognized that God did indeed give Satan authority over this world, uh, over the kingdoms of this world. So yeah, let's say I'll put it to you this way, man. Let's say we pray. Let's say we pray for like Trump or something like that, and we pray for him and pray for him, and like Lord, you know. Let him have a encounter with you, and let him see the truth and reveal himself to, I mean, reveal yourself to him, and let's say it happens. Let's say by some crazy miraculous moment, God does it, and God reveals himself to Trump, and let's say Trump has a moment with God, and he actually like accepts Jesus Christ, right? Like the moment that happens, bro, bet money, bet money that if he were to be open and public about it, the that same day or the following day or that same week, he gets buried. You know what I'm saying? He gets buried 10 feet under, or however many feet it is. Because again, if you're a person of God, you're not allowed to run a country. Not, it's not going to happen. The amount of people, the elites that have a stronghold over this country and over the nations, the moment they know that you turn on them and that you accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior, that's it. You're over. They're not gonna. It's not gonna happen. They're gonna kill you, or they're gonna bury you, or they're gonna, I don't know, send you away somewhere and to never be seen again. You name it. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Um, but anyways, I kind of like went off track there. But basically, because that's the case, and because like that's the reality, um, you know, we just have to prepare ourselves and make sure we get everything that we need in order to get through whatever's going to happen, whether it be before, during, or after the elections. Um, if you gotta like cash some money out from here to there in case of like emergency, or you feel you need to stock up on your non-perishable foods and stuff like that, I highly do recommend it. If But the main thing, in my opinion, is getting anything involving anti-EMP hardware for like your, because if God forbid something goes down in your area and it gets like chaotic or weird or crazy, and you need to get away fast, then it's gonna be like your vehicle. Um, I would even I would even recommend, if there's a chance anyone or any of you has the possibility of getting something like an old vehicle that doesn't have much or any electronical stuff um, in it, then that would be the way to go. Because if it's just like straight up, just like gas and oil and like just like the bare essentials, they don't. There shouldn't be any issues, but there is. So, but yeah, I'll let you guys go for now. Let me know after the video's like done and posted. Just drop some comments on it. Let me know what you think, your personal opinions, your feedback. And of course, if you have any additional suggestions or recommendations, you know, please comment those in the comment section. And, oh, bad. Sorry. But yeah, hopefully I will be back after I'm done eating stuff. Maybe like, I don't know, around like 9 or 10 or something like that. But yeah, this is very serious and important times that we're in, and I really want to do my very best to, in any way, shape, or form, prepare any one of you guys, including myself. So, but anyways, I'm going to let y'all go now. So God bless. Peace out. Blessings and love to every single one of you guys as always. And I'll be back later.